Hey guys, so another review today, The Second Law by Muse. Alright, so I wanted to review this for a long time because this was one of those releases that I was so excited for, knowing the band and hearing just the singles and the songs that were played live before the album was released. I was really excited for this guy. And this album was not a disappointment, I've got to say. I know for a lot of Muse fans it really was. A lot of Muse fans hate this album's guts. Oh my gosh. And I think they're kind of prejudiced. I don't think they've really listened to the whole thing. Because I listened to the whole thing yesterday. Well, I've listened to it a lot, but I did yesterday, knowing I review it today, and there really isn't much to hate on here. I mean, this is just one of the listens where you're expecting it to be pretty bad and like cheesy and shallow, but when you listen to it, you're like, hey, what was I thinking about? This is pretty good. So, okay, I'm going to go track by track because I really don't know what other way to talk about this album other than track by track. So, guys, Supremacy. This is just plain awesomeness by Muse. There's nothing to hate here. It's over the top, but in the most wonderful of ways. This is totally familiar territory for the band. It's just, there's not much to talk about. It's just so good. Okay, so, Supremacy. Awesome. Great riff, too. Oh my gosh. This is like one of the headbanging songs, you know. Madness. Madness, when I first heard it, it was like euphoric because I thought it was so amazing. Then I quickly lost my interest in it, but now it's pretty good. So, I don't hate the song. I never hated the song, but I just remember listening to it for the first time back in August last year when it was first released. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best Muse song I've ever heard. And then, like, after a day, it was like, you know, it's pretty good, but not the best. So, but hey, the song is actually really cool, and it's interesting to listen to because you're like, this is Muse? What? This is the band that made Knights of Sidonia and Hysteria and Citizen Erased? What? And then you, like, go and flip a table, but it's... It's a really good song, honestly. So I love listening to it. It's heartfelt, and even if the lyrics are like, even if the lyrics are a bit shallow, they're heartfelt. I mean, you can tell. So, bravo to them for trying something new. I mean, Madness is like the complete opposite universe of anything else that they've done before. Okay, so next track, Panic Station. This is like, I love this track so much. My band were covering this song because it's just that awesome. Oh my gosh, I just, the bass line, irresistible. Oh my gosh, the guitar solo with the chromaticism, that's like, it's genius. I love it. You can't not dance to this, seriously. But all around, great song. I really wish Muse would dabble more in funk than just one song. I want to hear more funk from them. But this was an absolutely brilliant little journey of a song. And it's 3 minutes, so they pack a lot into that punch. Alright. The Prelude to Survival, it's a prelude. I love it. There's nothing to hate about it. It's just orchestral awesomeness. It's Chopin, basically. Okay, and then Survival. Now, here's the one song that I've had mixed feelings about on the whole album. Survival sounded like crap to me when I first heard it. When it first came out, I was like, wait, they have a new song? What? And because I've been looking at YouTube top comments and on like the Unsustainable video and stuff like that, people were like, everyone thought Muse was going dubstep, and then Survival came, and everyone like ate their words and shut their mouths, stuff like that. I remember reading a comment that said like something along the lines of that, and yeah, and basically I was like, wait, they have a new song? And it's not dubstep? Whoa. And so I listened to it, and, well, I bought it without listening to it, and I put it on, I was like, this sounds so stupid, and I couldn't stand it, because I hated the ha 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 in the beginning. I hated it. I hated it so much, and even as the song went on with the guitar solos, I was like, this is so stupid, but yes, I grew to love it because I went on vacation in South Carolina, and I was just like, you know, this song is on my iPod, I'm just going to listen to it again. And boom, it was great. I was like, whoa, this is actually pretty cool. And now it's like, it's just nothing to hate there. Who cares about the lyrics? Who cares if the lyrics are cheesy and stupid? I mean, come on, it's Muse. They're over the top, and they're cool for that, okay? So, yeah, it's Muse. Yeah. What if those were the only 2 words I said the whole review? It would make perfect sense. Okay. Next song, Follow Me. Love this song. Takes a while to get into it because it kind of goes this long crescendo, like halfway through the song it finally kicks in with the beat. It's dance pop dubstep kind of thing. Well, not really dubstep. It really doesn't make sense to call it dubstep. It's not dubstep. It's just like a dance pop beat, halftime dance pop beat. So, sorry. But Follow Me is actually a very solid track. It reminds me of the kind of sound they had on Black Holes and Resistance. So it's kind of like a little bit backtracking, like memories, like, oh, remember those? You know, it's like those 2 albums, Black Holes and Resistance, that was cool. But then at the same time, it's like they've never done anything that sounds like this before. So it's pretty cool, the impression that it leaves on you. Animals. This song is a masterpiece. Animals is so amazing. It really is a masterpiece, and the lyrics are great too. Have you ever seen them play this song live? If you haven't, what am I going to say? Go look it up on this site, YouTube. And especially if it's for the Live at Rome Olympic Stadium, because then they have the actor in it, and it's just like so powerful. Oh my gosh, I love it. But the song starts off very, very soft and a little bit timid and eerie, and then eventually it just keeps crescendoing through sections. It literally does crescendo through sections, which is really, really cool, I think. And eventually it just arrives at this epic conclusion with this really dirty, deep, like drop E flat guitar riff that's just like, the guitar riff is in 5/4, but the drum beats are in 4/4, so the riff starts at a different point every measure. It's so cool. But the riff is just so dirty and just awesome. It's just like such a great song. Animals is all you could ever ask for from Muse. Okay. After Animals, After Animals, you get Explorers. Very musical theater-ish. Explorers really isn't anything too special, but the song is good. I mean, what can I say? When I listen to it, I'm captivated. I'm paying attention. It's nice. It soothes me. I mean, it's a great song. There's not much to hate on it. Think about it though. This is the one song on here that literally could have been on Resistance and fit perfectly. So this is kind of a leftover Resistance sound. But it is a really great song. Nice chords, nice melody. It's just very easygoing. So no one should have a hard time getting into this song. It is the longest cut on the album, like over 5 minutes, but it's good. So after Explorers, you get Big Freeze. Big Freeze, it's like U2? What? U2? Am I hearing U2? Because, oh my gosh, this is like so U2 influenced, but it still sounds like Muse, and I'm not just saying that because of Matt Bellamy's voice. Like, minus his voice, it still sounds like Muse. Somehow, is it the bass tone? I don't know what it is, but it still sounds a lot like them, and totally trademark Muse, but it's still like U2-ish for some reason. I think that's definitely the guitar tone, but very nice guitar solo in this. It's a nicely written song. The lyrics are nice. What more can you ask for? Relationship problems, lyrics, you know. But hey, these guys are having fun, so I'm not going to hate on that. But the lyrics are fine. He throws in some stuff about electrical storms or like clouds of gas and stuff. So it's like apocalyptic stuff mixed with a love song. So it's like what? But it's a great song nevertheless. Great chorus. I really like the beat. It's very, very catchy, easy to listen to. This is good song. This is good song. Okay. After this, you get the song Save Me. A lot of people don't like this, but I'm like, I actually really like this song. It's soothing, and yes, it's really different from Muse. They've never made a song that sounds like this, but it's because Chris is at the front instead of Matt. But it sounds completely natural. The song is very beautiful, and the guitar solo is great. Oh my gosh, the atmosphere. Here, wait a second. Sorry, I have this air conditioner that shuts off, like, and it's supposed to stay on, but you don't care. Okay, sorry. Anyways, but Save Me, every instrument in this sounds great. I mean, Dom has some really great drum fills, some really cool time signature stuff in here. I'm not saying odd time signatures, I'm just saying he plays with this time signatures a bit, which is cool. A lot of great fills, too. The bass is great, obviously, because this is Chris's song. The guitar is always great with them, so nothing else to say. It's like these beautiful, just like descending scale kind of things, but it's great. It's honestly a great song, and I don't have anything to hate on here. Liquid State, next. This song is like something off Absolution. It's like the small print, but with Chris singing, obviously. It's like the same kind of idea. But I really like how this is kind of like to feed all the hungry fans that love Absolution and stuff like that, because it's just like you get there and you really haven't had a literal, straightforward rock song with heavy riffs and lots of crash cymbal and beats and stuff. So I think this is not intentionally put in there to satisfy them, but this is the point on the album where those fans will be satisfied. They'll be like, yes, one of these songs, love this, I can headbang. But I don't know, it's a great song. But I'm not just saying that because I like the Absolution sound. It's a good song in itself with Chris singing. It's great. It's nothing to hate on. It's great drum work too. Okay, this brings us to the final two tracks, which I'm just gonna say right off the bat, I love both of these tracks. Unsustainable, I always liked, and I never understood why people were, well, okay, I'm not retarded. I did understand why, because it was freaking dubstep, but I don't understand why they wouldn't give it more of a chance, because I remember when the video first came out, the trailer for The Second Law, and there was only like half of this song in it, and I remember watching that the day it came out. I was like, whoa, new album from Muse, and I loved the heck out of it. It sounded so like gritty and just like metal, but not metal, and it just made me bob my head so much, and it was just such a driving song and sound. I loved Unsustainable, and I still love it. But I mean, I can't describe the excitement I had when I listened to the trailer. I was just like, this is so cool and different. I mean, I don't know. I've always loved Muse for like the crazy like riffs that they just go all out with, like super loud, like hysteria at the end, like the chromaticism there, Citizen Erased, oh my gosh, like micro cuts, the riffs at the end of that song. I've always loved that component to Muse a lot. So when you hear like these loud, abrasive riffs in Unsustainable, I loved it instantly. So, yeah. And Isolated System, at first glance, you're like, wow, really? Just like a little piano ditty at the end of a Muse album? After the band has freaking like made album closes like Knights of Sidonia or a 3-part Exogenesis Symphony, or Megalomania, and you're just like, why would they just put like this little like piano ditty that never climaxes at all through the whole song? But I really like it. I mean, just listen to it for what it is. Don't expect more of it. It actually is really beautiful. I like the song a lot. Isolated System is great. The piano's haunting. It's the only song on the album that can really capture that deep feeling of like impending doom that I think they were going for. Even Unsustainable can't really do that, because Unsustainable is so surface oriented. It's just like a glance on the surface. There's nothing like deep that will hit you about it. It's just like very like special effects kind of song, but it's really great. But Isolated System hits you deep, and that's what I like about it. It is the only song, literally only song on the whole album that will hit you on that level, and you'll just be left like, wow, this was intense, man. So I think Isolated System was the overall thing they were going for with the album, with the Second Law theme and everything. And they achieved that on the last track really well, so I'm just saying. And, I mean, I would have loved it if it would have climaxed, when the drum beat's building up at the end and all the choirs are coming in, all those electronic strings. As everything gets louder, I wouldn't have had anything against, like, a really loud instrumental climax. I would have loved that. But I'm just okay with the fact that they didn't, that they held it back. So Isolated System really is a great song. So, guys, that's my review of The Second Law. I give this album an 8 out of 10, because it's not good enough to be called a 9 out of 10, because it has to be really, really good to be called 9 out of 10. but the music is still great. So 8 out of 10, definitely a heavy 8 out of 10. I would go up to 8.5 if I could, but I don't really do that anymore with my ratings. I'm just like, just pick a number. But, so yeah, it's definitely a strong 8 out of 10. More 8 than less, definitely. It's leaning closer to a 9 than it is to a 7, you know what I mean? So, guys, that's my review of The Second Law. It's a great album. It does not at all deserve the hate that the Muse fans gave it. I mean, I guess it's just kind of credited to some of the marketing ways of putting the album out there in the beginning, like the Unsustainable video got everyone worked up, and they were like, dubstep, what? Or Madness, and everyone was like, they're still doing dubstep and R&B, and it's so cheesy. It's like, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that's different, but there's a lot of familiar stuff on here, so you shouldn't have too much of a hard time getting into it if you like origin of symmetry and stuff. There's plenty of stuff for you to latch onto here, but don't worry. So, guys, Second Law by Muse, 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, by the way, obviously.